There wasn't a single human shadow in sight. The entire world was deathly silent. There was no smell in the air, no sound of wind. Walking on the hard ground, they couldn't even hear their own footsteps. Everyone was gripped by deep unease. They arrived at the departure hall, which was also completely deserted. The phones had no signal, all the machines were powered off, and every clock had stopped at the exact same time. Most eerily, all the food and drinks had no taste, and even matches couldn't be lit. The group began to fumble around, trying to make sense of the situation. Just then, the blind girl suddenly claimed she could hear a faint gnawing sound, though no one else heard it. Because she had no vision, her hearing was far more sensitive than the others. She insisted the sound was coming from far away, slowly approaching the airport. Once it got closer, everyone would be in serious danger. The girl pleaded in terror for everyone to take off in the plane and leave immediately. But the aircraft's fuel had already been depleted, and the backup fuel at the airport had lost its original effect. With no conditions for takeoff, the group decided to stay and try to figure out a solution. Soon they discovered something interesting. Though the airport's matches didn't work, the matches brought from the plane could be lit normally. Inspired, they brought the airport's food and drinks onto the plane. After a short while, the food and drinks regained their original flavor. One man boldly theorized that time flowed normally inside the plane, so items returned to normal, but they just needed some time to recover. This meant that if they brought fuel onto the plane, it should also work. Just as hope began to rise, everyone finally heard the faint gnawing sound. It was exactly like the blind girl had described, approaching them step by step. A sense of dread filled each person. They all agreed they had to leave immediately. As the group scrambled to refuel the plane, a well-dressed man in a suit quietly slipped away from the others. He had grown up under a strict father who would scold and beat him for scoring anything less than perfect, even a 99 out of 100. His father often warned him that wasting even a moment would summon a sharp-fanged monster to devour him. The terrifying chewing sounds now reminded him of that childhood nightmare. The intense psychological pressure pushed him over the edge. In his eyes, everyone else had become hideous monsters. And just then, the real crisis arrived. An entire horde of grotesque monsters appeared in the distance, advancing toward them.